Hi ladies, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Welcome to Pretty Privilege. This channel is all about teaching my fellow beauties how to enhance their pretty privilege, mind, body, and soul. All right, and I think it's very important for me to state once and only once that my channel is not to force anyone to conform or to be anything that they do not want to be. I'm speaking directly to the people, and I'm speaking directly to the people who want this information in order to better themselves in the ways that align with their own preferences. So let's make that very clear, all right? So let's get into it. I would consider myself girly. I think I always consider myself to be girly, but there's a difference, at least for me, in being girly and being feminine. You know, femininity is an art. Femininity is just a way about you internally. I think girliness is definitely a characteristic and it's amazing, but, you know, femininity just takes that to the next level. And that's something that I've really been learning about, especially in my free time now, because as you guys know, most people are at home and have a lot more time. So that's something that I've been doing a lot of, listening to a lot more podcasts and connecting to women who speak on this topic. So for me, I used to wear my hair in buns and sweatpants and, I put minimal effort into my look sometimes, but it wasn't really a priority for me. And that changed. And now I am putting a lot more effort into what I wear and how I present myself. And I think it's really important that, and I don't hear this a lot, but we talk about in terms of femininity, changing our appearances. And for me, that's something that I love to do and that I wanted to do to elevate the way that people perceive me. And it's fun. It's fun to be pretty and get pretty in the way that you want and dress nice and do makeup or whatever it is that makes you feel beautiful. But it's really important to also understand and for me to acknowledge and articulate the fact that it really goes deeper than the surface. So for me, I noticed on a surface level, I was getting a little bit more attention. Doors were opening for me. People let me go in front of them in the lines. And those are all things that are really nice. It makes you feel validated and acknowledged. And no matter what anyone says, that's something that every human being needs, right? If we're being real with ourselves. So that's on a surface level. And those are just some of the perks, I guess you would say, of pretty privilege. But it really goes deeper. It goes deeper than that. And I noticed for myself when I started putting more effort into the way that I looked and in my mental health and the way that I interacted with the world and other people, I noticed this weight lifted off of my soul, really. And I know that's kind of a dramatic way to say this, but it really is true. I noticed a way of life that was just better. And that was all encompassing of the way that I felt, of the way that other people treated me. Because again, coming with, having that femininity, it kind of steers you in a direction of just naturally placing more value on yourself. And when you place more value on yourself, there are certain steps that are just congruent with that, and it leads to other people valuing you more also, because they see you treating yourself with more respect. They see you putting more effort into the way that you interact with the world. So pretty privilege is about the way you present yourself physically, but it goes deeper than that, and that depth happens within yourself. So this is something that has a toxic element that society places on it, right? Having pretty privilege, everybody wants to accept everyone, and I think that's amazing. But I also don't think that you have to be unaccepting of the people who place value on enhancing themselves. If someone is enhancing their own self in one way and it leads to certain benefits, and they're putting in that work and they're intentional and mindful about it, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that everyone has their own preferences. Everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own values. And so you really have to find your own way. And that way for me was pretty privileged. And I really want this message and all other messages that I put forth to kind of disaggregate that toxic element that's placed on the idea of pretty privilege. If I want to experience having more doors open for me, honey, then you better believe I am not gonna, pay an arm and a foot for that. But if all it takes is for me to just polish up my look, okay. I mean, I'll do that. I already like to get pretty. I already like to be the best me that I can be physically and mentally and emotionally. So why not? That's something to me that I place value on. And I think that if you just want to experience that, I promise you, it will elevate your life to the next level. And in the future videos that I post, we'll go into more depth on what that looks like, what steps you can take to reach that level, because it's all about leveling up. It's all about being the best you can be. It's all about gaining the most out of life to make your time on this earth the best that it could be. And if you want to go and, flaunt that pretty privilege in a way that is classy and sophisticated, then I don't see a problem with it. So let's definitely keep this conversation going. Let me know in the comments below what your view on pretty privilege is. If you think that it's toxic, if you think that there's nothing wrong with it. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.